Imagine you're walking into a high-stakes meeting where every detail is crucial. You need to recall every single data point, every nuance of the project, without a single hiccup. Now, what if you had a memory so sharp, so precise, that you could pull these details from your mind as effortlessly as flipping through a photo album? Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, if that sounds like the kind of edge you'd like, stick around, because we're about to dive into how you can get close to that kind of memory magic. Today, we're unraveling the mystery of enhancing memory recall through a technique that's more powerful than a caffeine shot on exam day: active recall. Forget the days of mindlessly flipping through notes and hoping something sticks. Active recall isn't just a study trick, it's your ticket to a brain that remembers like a steel trap. While true photographic memory might be as mythical as unicorns, using active recall can seriously boost your memory skills and bring you tantalizingly close to that level of extraordinary recall. 2. The myth of photographic memory. So, what exactly is photographic memory? It's the ability to recall images, sounds, or objects with incredible precision. Picture this: someone who can look at a page of text and, moments later, remember every word as if they're reading it again. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Well, that's because it often is. Movies and books love to romanticize this ability, making it seem like a superpower reserved for a chosen few. But hold up, let's hit the brakes on that fantasy. Scientists have been scratching their heads about photographic memory for years. While some people have exceptional recall abilities, the idea of true photographic memory, a perfect, instant recall of all visual information, isn't backed by solid evidence. In reality, memory is more like a messy drawer than a pristine filing cabinet. Now, let's clear up a common mix-up. Eidetic memory is often confused with photographic memory. Eidetic memory refers to the ability to recall images with high precision, but only for a short time after exposure. It's not the same as being able to remember every detail from a book you skimmed a year ago. So, if you're hoping to become a human Google, you might need to adjust those expectations. Now, how active recall can help us to remember everything. Let's start first with understanding active recall. So, what on earth is active recall? Picture this: it's not your average, sleepy rereading session where you hope some information magically transfers from your book into your brain. Active recall is the mental workout that forces you to retrieve information from memory actively. Instead of passively glancing over your notes, you challenge yourself to recall what you've learned from scratch. It's like flexing your brain muscles rather than just admiring them. Here's how it all plays out: you study a topic and then close your book. Now comes the fun part, trying to recall what you just read without peeking. The mental effort involved here is akin to lifting weights for your brain. You're not just rereading, you're digging deep into your memory vault, which reinforces those neural pathways and makes the information stick better. It's like turning your brain into a high-performance engine that's always running smoothly. Let's talk about passive review, basically the mental equivalent of lounging on the couch in your pajamas, hoping you'll magically become fit. Passive review means rereading notes or textbooks over and over again. Sure, it's comforting, like a cozy blanket, but it's not exactly making your brain sweat. Active recall, on the other hand, is like hitting the gym for your memory. It's proactive, engaging, and gets results. You're not just skimming, you're actively digging through your brain's filing cabinet, forcing your mind to work for the answers rather than just browsing. Active recall techniques to enhance memory. Flashcards. Let's kick things off with flashcards. These little guys are like the Swiss Army knives of memory aids. To make them effective, keep things simple and straightforward. Write a question or prompt on one side and the answer on the other. Think of them as bite-sized nuggets of knowledge. Don't go on a wordy rampage, concise and to the point is the way to go. Oh, and while you're at it, use colorful markers or digital apps to add a splash of fun, because who says studying can't be vibrant? Now, how do you make flashcards work for you? Here's the secret sauce: active retrieval. Flip through your flashcards, glance at the question, and try to recall the answer without peeking. It's like a pop quiz for yourself, but without the stress of a real exam. Regularly review these cards to reinforce your memory. It's the use it or lose it principle, but way less dramatic than a late-night infomercial. Practice testing. Next up, let's talk about practice testing. Creating your own practice tests is like giving your brain a workout it actually wants. Design questions that challenge you, and test yourself regularly. It's like having a mini exam, except you don't have to worry about the grade, just the satisfaction of nailing those questions. To get the most out of practice testing, simulate real test conditions. Time yourself, sit at a desk, and pretend it's the big day. This practice helps you get used to recalling information under pressure, making the actual exam feel like a breeze. It's like playing dress up for your brain, but instead of a pirate hat, you're rocking the test-taking pro look. Self-explanation. Now, let's get into self-explanation. This is where you take what you've learned and explain it as if you're teaching it to someone else. You can use the Feynman technique, where you break down complex ideas into simple, easy-to-understand explanations. Think of it as your brain's version of a TED Talk. The clearer you can explain it, the better you understand it. Why does this work so well? When you explain a concept in your own words, you're not just rehearsing information, you're making it stick. It's like having a mental chalkboard where you write and rewrite your knowledge. Plus, it helps you spot any gaps in your understanding before the real test. Combining active recall with photographic memory techniques. Let's bring out the visual aids, mind maps, to be precise. These are like GPS for your brain. Start with a central idea and branch out into related topics. It's a visual representation of how information connects. Mind maps help you see the bigger picture and make recalling complex information easier. It's like having a detailed map of your mental landscape. Combine mind maps with mental imagery. Create vivid, memorable images in your mind that relate to what you're learning. If you're trying to remember a list of items, visualize them interacting in a wacky, unforgettable scenario. The crazier the imagery, the more likely it is to stick. Your brain loves a good visual story, so give it one it can't forget. Daily practice. Integrate these techniques into your daily routine. Consistent practice is the name of the game. Set aside a little time each day to review flashcards, take practice tests, or explain concepts. It's like brushing your teeth, regular maintenance keeps everything fresh. Finally, remember the importance of consistency. It's not about cramming the night before, though, let's be honest, we've all tried that. It's about steady, regular practice. Like watering a plant, your memory needs consistent care to grow and flourish. Real-life applications and benefits. Let's start with the classroom. Imagine walking into an exam room feeling like you've got the whole syllabus downloaded directly into your brain. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, active recall can make that dream a reality. Take students who've aced their finals, they often credit active recall for their success. Instead of passively reading notes, which is basically the educational equivalent of binge-watching TV, they're actively testing themselves, retrieving information, and reinforcing their knowledge. It's like giving their brains a personal trainer, but with fewer sweat stains. Now, let's talk about the workplace. Ever been in a meeting where you're expected to remember every tiny detail of a complex project? Active recall can turn you into the office superhero who never forgets a deadline or crucial detail. Professionals using these techniques report a boost in their ability to retain and apply critical information. Whether you're mastering industry jargon or recalling client preferences, active recall helps you stay on top of your game. It's like having a mental filing cabinet that's always organized and never needs a deep clean. Personal growth. On a personal level, improving your memory through active recall can be a game changer. Imagine being able to recall names, dates, or even where you left your keys without breaking into a cold sweat. Enhanced memory boosts cognitive abilities, making daily life smoother and more enjoyable. It's like upgrading from a dial-up connection to high-speed internet, everything just works better, and you feel like you're cruising through life with a bit more ease. Overcoming challenges. Now, let's face it, active recall is awesome, but it's not without its hiccups. Distractions are a biggie. Trying to remember important details while your phone buzzes with cat memes and notifications is a recipe for disaster. To combat this, create a distraction-free study zone. It's like creating a VIP lounge for your brain where only the most focused thoughts are allowed. Next up, information overload. Let's be honest, cramming a gazillion facts into your brain isn't exactly a walk in the park. To handle this, break down the material into smaller, manageable chunks. Think of it like eating a massive pizza. You wouldn't try to shove it all in your mouth at once, right? Same goes for studying. Tackle one slice of information at a time. Strategies for success. Setting realistic goals is crucial. Instead of aiming to learn everything, try setting specific, achievable objectives. For example, today, I'll master Chapter 3 and its key concepts is a lot more manageable than I'll become a genius. Baby steps are the name of the game. Finally, let's talk about spaced repetition. It's like giving your brain a little memory boost at intervals to keep the info fresh. Instead of cramming the night before, because who hasn't tried that and regretted it, revisit the material periodically. This technique helps you retain information long-term, making sure you don't forget what you've learned as soon as you walk out of the exam room. So there you have it. Active recall isn't just a study hack, it's a versatile tool that can boost your academic performance, advance your career, and enhance your personal life. By overcoming distractions and managing information overload, and using strategies like setting goals and spaced repetition, you'll transform your memory from SOSO to sensational. By using these active recall techniques and combining them with visual memory aids, you'll be well on your way to boosting your recall abilities. Remember, while true photographic memory might be a tall tale, these strategies will get you closer to recalling information with stunning clarity. Now, go ahead and put these techniques into practice. You've got this. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found these tips useful, subscribe for more brainy insights, and leave a comment on how you plan to supercharge your memory. Until next time, keep those neurons firing.